You know that feeling when your brain is just moving at light speed, but your hands are fighting with a clunky piece of technology?
Oh, yeah, the cursor lags or the menu is buried, and suddenly that brilliant idea just evaporates.
Exactly. So today's deep dive is all about killing that friction. We are looking at a tool that promises to get out of your way and connect your brain directly to the screen.
Right, the Xencelabs XMCTBMFRES-SE pen tablet and Quick Keys Special Edition bundle, which is currently listed over on HDTV Supply.
Yeah, that's the one. And for you, whether you're a seasoned digital artist or just intensely curious about creative tech, the goal here is to understand how premium hardware tries to eliminate that barrier without causing total information overload. So, okay, let's unpack this, starting with how this thing actually feels.
Well, the feel is really everything. I mean, if the hardware doesn't mimic reality, your brain just rejects it. So this tablet gives you a 10.33 by 5.8-inch active drawing area.
And that specific size is completely intentional, right?
Oh, absolutely. It perfectly matches a standard 16 by 9 monitor aspect ratio.
Right, which prevents that awful stretching. You draw a perfect circle on the pad. It actually translates as a perfect circle on your screen, not some squashed oval.
Exactly.
And what I love is that they don't just hand you a single generic stylus and say good luck. They include two different battery-free pens. It's exactly like a traditional artist having a thick stick of charcoal for aggressive shading and then switching to a super fine mechanical pencil for the delicate details.
Yeah, you get a 3-button wide barrel pen and a 2-button thin barrel pen. And both of those feature digital erasers, plus or minus 60 degrees of tilt, and 8,192 levels of pressure sensitivity.
Which, I mean, sounds like a massive arbitrary number, right?
Totally.
To the average learner, what does 892 levels actually mean in practice?
It's the difference between a jagged stair-step line and a perfectly smooth ink flow. The sensors are detecting microscopic changes in how hard you're pressing. What's fascinating here is why the underlying tech electromagnetic resonance, or EMR, makes that possible.
Right, because the tablet itself generates a weak magnetic field.
Yep. And then the pen interacts with that field to power itself wirelessly.
Wait, so there's literally no battery inside the pen weighing it down.
None at all. No battery means the pen is lightweight, perfectly balanced, and just feels like real wood or plastic in your hand. Combine that with the tilt sensor, where the digital line changes shape when you angle the pen, just like a real pencil, and you're creating sub-millimeter physics simulations.
It tricks your human brain into feeling an organic, real-world material.
Precisely.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
We're physically grounded, but drawing is only half the battle. You still have to navigate your software, and that usually means dropping your perfectly balanced pen to go click a tiny mouse icon.
Which completely shatters your focus. So to fix that, this bundle includes a Quick Keys remote. It sits off to the side and features an OLED display.
Meaning the little screen is incredibly crisp and readable at any angle.
Right, along with a physical dial. And it lets you program up to 40 custom shortcuts per application.
Okay, I have to push back here, though. 40 shortcuts per app.
I've tried programmable macro pads before, and I spent half my time staring at the keys trying to remember what button 7 did. Isn't giving someone that many options just a recipe for overwhelming information overload?
It sounds like it, but the reality is the exact opposite. It actually reduces your cognitive load.
Yeah.
Think about your old macro pad. Did it have an OLED screen right next to the buttons telling you exactly what they do?
Okay, fair point. It definitely did not.
Right. And by using a physical dial for things like brush size or zooming in, you shift the workload from your eyes to your muscle memory. Instead of digging through nested on-screen menus, you just instinctively twist a dial.
So your eyes never leave your artwork. You stay completely immersed in that creative flow state.
Exactly.
It's basically treating your digital workspace like a physical studio. And building that studio requires an investment. Looking at HDTV Supply, this bundle fits at a $379.99 price point, though I did notice a checkout code 5% off. That takes a little sting out of it. Yeah, and for that price, you get a fully wireless setup. It has a 16-hour battery life and connects via an RF dongle, a dedicated radio frequency USB plug.
Which is way more stable than standard Bluetooth, right? No random disconnects when you're mid-brushstroke.
Precisely. It also comes with practical extras, like a drawing glove to reduce friction on the tablet and a carrying sleeve. But we should talk about the logistics of ordering it. HDTV Supply offers a 30-day return policy, but there's a crucial nuance.
Right, the fine print. If the tablet is actually defective, they'll email you a shipping label and cover the return. But if you play with it and just decide it's not your vibe, you are on the hook for that return shipping cost.
which is pretty standard, but definitely something to keep in mind before you check out.
Good to know. So what does this all mean?
It means we're seeing a fundamental shift in how creative hardware is designed. For decades, humans have been forced to adapt to the limitations of technology, contorting our hands around rigid plastic mice. This bundle reverses that. The technology is finally adapting to our natural analog habits.
It's completely focused on eliminating the friction between your brain and the screen, but leaves you with an interesting question. As our cutting-edge digital tools become increasingly physical again, relying on specialized analog feeling pens and chunky physical dials, are we slowly admitting that the traditional keyboard and mouse were actually a mistake for true creativity? Something for you to think about next time you reach for your mouse.